Picture this: a fighter jet, born from humble sketches on napkins in a quiet Islamabad office, was initially scoffed at by Western analysts as little more than China's bargain bin F-16. Fast forward, and that very aircraft is now the focus of classified NATO briefings. That jet, the JF17 Thunder, hasn't just flown. It's shot down drones, deftly dodged missiles, and frankly sold faster than the latest smartphones across 3 continents. How did this ultimate underdog manage to completely rewrite the rules of modern air warfare? Stick around. The answer isn't just surprising. It flips everything you thought you knew about military power and what it takes to dominate the skies. Most stories about game-changing weapons kick off with mind-boggling billion-dollar budgets and household names. Not this one. This saga begins with a crippling arms embargo, a budget so tight it squeaked, and a partnership so unconventional nobody saw it coming. It's a testament to ingenuity over extravagance, necessity over luxury. By the time we wrap up today's deep dive, you'll grasp precisely why Air Force planners, from the bustling corridors of Abuja to the ancient streets of Baku, are quietly whispering about the JF-17 as the best risk we ever took. We're going to walk you through the jet's combat scars, unpack the ingenious tech that keeps it so lethally effective, and reveal why even non-aligned nations are lining up, checkbooks open, eager to get their hands on this machine. No dry jargon, no flag-waving cheerleading, just the hard, undeniable facts that truly matter. This isn't just a story about a plane. It's a story about resilience, innovation, and how the world of defense is changing right before our eyes. The problem that created the Thunder. Let's set the scene. It's 1998. And Pakistan's frontline fighter fleet was, frankly, a bit of a museum piece. Their main workhorse? The 1960s-era Mirage III. Good for its time, but hardly a match for the turn of the millennium. To make matters worse, U.S. sanctions, slapped on after Pakistan's nuclear tests, meant spare parts for their precious F-16s became scarcer than hen's teeth. Imagine having a high-performance car but no way to get new tires or oil filters. That was Pakistan's Air Force, facing a critical operational crunch. Meanwhile, just across the border, India wasn't just sitting idle. They were busy signing massive deals for advanced Sukhoi Su-30 MKIs, formidable jets armed with thrust-vectoring engines that made them incredibly agile and a serious threat. The disparity was growing, and Pakistan found itself in an increasingly precarious position. They desperately needed an answer, and they needed it fast. What Pakistan needed wasn't just any fighter. They needed several things simultaneously. First, numbers. They needed a sufficient quantity of modern aircraft to maintain a credible deterrent. Second, modernity. Their existing fleet was aging, and they couldn't afford to fall further behind technologically. But perhaps most crucially, they needed sovereignty. They needed the ability to build, maintain, and upgrade their aircraft at home, without foreign fingerprints, without the constant threat of embargoes or political leverage from external powers. This wasn't just about defense. It was about national dignity and strategic independence. On the other side of the equation, China had a burgeoning aerospace industry, complete with factories hungry for export revenue. They possessed the manufacturing capability and the engineering prowess. However, they lacked a key ingredient: a Western-style customer who intimately understood modern dogfight doctrine, air combat tactics, and the rigorous demands of operating a cutting-edge fighter in a contested airspace. They needed a partner who could provide invaluable feedback and help refine their designs to meet global standards. It was a classic case of mutual need, creating an unlikely but perfect synergy. The match was lit in 1999, sparking a collaboration between the Pakistan Aeronautical Complex, PIC, and China's Chengdu Aircraft Industry Corporation, CAC. The pace was astonishing. By 2003, just 4 years later, the first prototype rolled out of the hangar. And here's the kicker. The total development cash for this entire project? A staggering under USD 500 million. Let that sink in for a moment. That's less than what it would cost to acquire a single squadron of modern Eurofighters, let alone develop one from scratch. The goal was never to build the world's absolute best, most technologically advanced or most expensive fighter. That wasn't the mission. The mission was profoundly pragmatic: to build a fighter that could make any potential aggressor think twice before taking hostile action, and to do it without bankrupting the national treasury. It was about smart defense, not extravagant spending, and in that, the JF-17 was already proving to be a resounding success, even before it took to the skies in earnest. From paper to production in record time, cynics, and let's be honest, there are plenty in the defense industry, love to declare that joint development programs inevitably mean slow. They'll tell you that combining different bureaucracies, engineering philosophies, and national interest is a recipe for delays, cost overruns, and endless squabbling. The JF-17 Thunder, however, didn't just challenge that notion. It absolutely shattered it. It proved the exact opposite could be true. The collaboration between Pakistan Aeronautical Complex (POAC) and Chengdu Aircraft Industry Corporation (CAC) wasn't just a partnership. It was a masterclass in pragmatic division of labor. They didn't try to merge every aspect of their operations. Instead, they smartly split the work based on their respective strengths and capabilities. China, with its vast industrial base and advanced aerodynamic research, naturally handled the intricate aerodynamic refinement of the airframe and ensured a reliable supply of engines. This played to their strengths, allowing them to leverage their expertise in complex manufacturing and engine technology. Pakistan, on the other hand, took the reins on final assembly. This was a crucial step, allowing them to build indigenous expertise and control the quality of the finished product. More importantly, they were responsible for avionics integration, the complex task of weaving together the jet's electronic brain and nervous system. This included the mission computers, displays, and communication systems. They also handled weapon qualification, ensuring that the diverse array of armaments the JF-17 would carry could be safely and effectively deployed. This hands-on involvement was vital for Pakistan's long-term goal of strategic autonomy and self-reliance in defense, one of the most forward-thinking decisions made early on was the agreement on open architecture avionics. This wasn't just a technical detail. It was a strategic stroke of genius. What does open architecture mean in practice? It means the jet's core electronic systems are designed to be modular and easily upgradable. Think of it like a modern computer, where you can swap out graphics cards or add RAM without rebuilding the entire machine. For the JF-17, this meant future upgrades, new sensors, new weapons, new electronic warfare capabilities could simply plug and play. This dramatically reduces the time and cost associated with integrating new technologies, ensuring the JF-17 remains relevant and lethal for decades to come, without requiring a complete overhaul every few years. The timeline itself is a jaw-dropper. From the very first flight of the prototype to the handoff of the first operational squadron to the Pakistan Air Force, it took a mere 7 years. 7 years. Compare that to the often decade-plus gestation periods, sometimes even 2 decades, that plague many Western fighter programs. Those projects often get bogged down in endless requirements changes, bureaucratic red tape, and astronomical costs. The JF-17's rapid development cycle was a stark contrast, and it didn't go unnoticed. Smaller air forces around the world, often operating on tighter budgets and with more immediate security needs, paid very close attention. They saw a model for acquiring modern air power efficiently, effectively, and without breaking the bank or waiting indefinitely. It wasn't just fast. It was a paradigm shift in how modern fighters could be brought to fruition. Block I, 2, 3. What each step really adds, think of the JF-17's evolution not as a series of incremental tweaks, but as distinct generations, each one a significant leap forward, much like how your smartphone progresses from one model to the next. Each block isn't just an update, it's a reimagining of what the jet can do. Block IOR, which began deliveries in 2007, was the foundational model. It was at its heart a dedicated daytime dogfighter. Equipped with a mechanical radar, it was capable of basic air-to-air engagements and could drop precision bombs, but its capabilities were somewhat limited. It was good enough, certainly, to replace Pakistan's aging fleet of Chinese Q-5s and the venerable Mirage -3s, giving the PAF a much-needed numerical boost and a step up in capability. However, let's be real, it wasn't going to send shivers down the spine of a modern Sukhoi Su-30. It was a solid start, a crucial first step, but everyone knew it was just the beginning. It laid the groundwork, proving the concept and establishing the production line. Then came Block 2. Arriving on the scene in 2015, and this is where things really started to get interesting. Block 2 transformed the JF-17 from a capable, but somewhat basic fighter into a truly versatile multi-role platform. What did it bring to the table? First, air-to-air refueling capability. This was huge, dramatically extending the jet's range and endurance, allowing it to stay on station longer or reach distant targets. Imagine being able to cover far more ground without having to land and refuel. That's a game changer for patrol missions or deep strikes. It also got a beefier electrical generator, crucial for powering more advanced systems, particularly electronic jammers, which are vital for self-protection in a contested environment. The cockpit underwent a radical transformation too, moving from a mix of analog and digital to a full-color glass cockpit, providing pilots with a far clearer, more intuitive display of critical flight and combat information. But perhaps the most significant upgrade in Block 2 was to its radar. The KLJ-7 radar gained a synthetic aperture ground mode, SAR. This wasn't just about seeing targets. It was about imaging them with high resolution even through cloud cover or at night. What did that mean operationally? A single JF-17 could now effectively perform both air patrol duties and high-precision close air support or ground attack missions. It became a true multi-role asset, capable of switching between roles seamlessly. The impact on export sales was immediate and undeniable. Myanmar, seeing the enhanced capabilities, signed on for Block 2s in 2015, followed by Nigeria in 2018. The world was beginning to take serious notice, and then, the big one, Block 3, with its first flight in 2020, catapulted the JF-17 into a league entirely its own, especially for its price point. This variant is a technological tour de force. The star of the show? The KLJ-7A Active Electronically Scanned Array, AESA radar. We'll dive deeper into what makes AESA so revolutionary in a later section. But for now, just know it's a massive leap in detection, tracking, and targeting capabilities. Block 3 also brought compatibility with the formidable PL-15 missile, a long-range ramjet-powered weapon that significantly extends the JF-17's reach. And for close-in engagements, it integrated an infrared search and track IRST system, often a spherical ball mounted on the nose which passively detects heat signatures, making it incredibly difficult to jam and an excellent complement to the radar. Think of it like this. Block I was a reliable flip phone. Block 2 was a decent early smartphone, capable of a few apps. But Block 3? That's like swapping your old smartphone for the latest flagship model. Same call number, same basic function, but radically new reach, processing power, and capabilities. The unit cost naturally crept up with all these advanced features, but it impressively stayed below $32 million. That's still less than half the sticker price of a used F-16 Block 52, let alone a brand new one. The JF-17 wasn't just getting better, it was getting exponentially more capable without losing its fundamental value proposition. Combat proven, not just brochure. Brilliant. Let's be honest, spec sheets are for engineers and procurement officers. They bore pilots to tears. What truly matters in the unforgiving world of aerial combat? The scoreboard. And the JF-17 Thunder has been racking up some serious points, proving its mettle not just in simulated exercises but in real, deadly engagements. This isn't just marketing fluff. These are cross-verified incidents that speak volumes about its capabilities. Consider this. In 2017, a JF-17 patrolling the sensitive Iran border demonstrated its defensive capabilities with chilling precision. It detected an Iranian military drone that had strayed a full 30 kilometers into Pakistani airspace. Without hesitation, the JF-17 engaged. One swift burst from its 23mm cannon and the drone was history. No missile wasted, just a decisive economical kill. This wasn't an act of aggression, but a clear statement of territorial defense, executed flawlessly. Fast forward to 2019. During the intense skirmishes between India and Pakistan, an event the PAF dubbed Operation Swift Retort. In a highly contested scenario, JF-17s didn't just participate. They played a pivotal role. They successfully penetrated Indian airspace, operating directly under the radar coverage of India's formidable Su-30 MKIs. Their mission? To strike Indian Army supply depots. And strike they did, dropping Mk-83 laser-guided bombs with pinpoint accuracy. Crucially, they executed their mission and exited the area before Indian MiG-29s could even engage. The impact was so undeniable, that Indian officials speaking on background to Reuters the very next day confirmed the strikes. This wasn't just a successful mission. It was a demonstration of the JF-17's ability to operate in a high-threat environment and deliver precision ordnance. Against a well-defended adversary, the Thunder's utility extends beyond conventional warfare. In 2024, the Pakistan Air Force, PAF, utilized its JF-17s for cross-border strikes against Pakistani Taliban camps nestled deep inside Afghanistan. These weren't indiscriminate attacks. The jets employed satellite-guided H-4 glide bombs achieving a circular error probable, CEP, of under 5 meters. Imagine that precision, good enough to take out a single building, a specific target, while leaving the adjacent mosque completely untouched. This level of accuracy minimizes collateral damage and speaks volumes about the JF-17's targeting systems and the PAF's operational doctrine. And it's not just Pakistan benefiting. Nigeria's Air Force, a relatively new operator of the Thunder, credits 2 JF-17s with a mission that effectively wiped out an entire Boko Haram truck convoy in 2022. This decisive action, according to Nigerian military reports, brought an end to a 6-month surge of terror activity in the country's northeast. These aren't just isolated incidents. They're patterns of effective, decisive combat performance. These aren't just press release boasts or unverified claims. They are incidents that have been cross-verified and reported by reputable defense publications like Jane's and Aviation Week, and even corroborated by local NGOs monitoring conflict zones. The JF-17 Thunder isn't just a pretty face in a brochure. It's a combat veteran with a growing and impressive track record. It proves that capability isn't solely defined by price tag or country of origin, but by performance when it truly counts, the tech that makes it deadly all right. Let's peel back the skin of this beast and look at the technological wizardry that makes the JF-17 Thunder so effective. Because ultimately, it's not just the pilot. It's the tools they wield. We have to start with the radar. Specifically, the KLJ-7A AESA, active electronically scanned array, found on the Block 3 variant. This isn't your granddad's spinning dish radar. The KLJ-7A boasts roughly 1,000 transmit-receive modules, TRMs. Think of each TRM as its own tiny, independent radar working in concert. This allows the radar beam to be steered electronically, almost instantaneously without any mechanical movement. What does that mean for the pilot? It translates to a detection range well past 150 kilometers for fighter-sized targets. That's enough to spot an adversary, long before they even know you're there. Now, is it as powerful as an F-35's AN/APG-81? No, it's not. But here's the critical point. The JF-17 isn't trying to be an F-35. Its mission profile is different. Its goal is to see first, shoot first, and then, crucially, scoot. It's about achieving tactical advantage through smart application of technology, not brute force. Once it sees, it can shoot. And what it shoots is equally impressive. The JF-17 carries China's formidable PL-15 Beyond Visual Range BVR missile. This isn't just any missile. It's a ramjet-powered weapon with a reported range of an astonishing 200 kilometers and active radar homing. Imagine the implications. A JF-17 can launch this missile and turn away, leaving the missile to guide itself to the target. That kind of range is more than enough to threaten high-value assets like AWACS, Airborne Warning and Control System, aircraft and tanker planes that typically loiter far behind the front lines. Taking out an AWACS can blind an entire enemy air force, while removing a tanker can dramatically shorten the endurance of their strike packages. It's a strategic weapon in a tactical package. For closer work, when things get down and dirty, the JF-17 is equipped with a helmet-mounted sight, HMS. This means the pilot doesn't have to point the entire aircraft at the target to get a missile lock. They simply look at the target and the HMS cues the PL-10 imaging infrared missiles. These missiles are highly agile and capable of 90-degree off-boresight shots. Think about that. The target can be almost perpendicular to your aircraft and you can still get a lock and launch. This dramatically increases maneuverability and lethality in close-quarters combat, making the JF-17 a much tougher opponent than its size might suggest. And what about electronic warfare? In today's skies, stealth isn't just about shaping. It's about blinding and confusing the enemy. The JF-17 has a sophisticated EW suite that includes a modular internal jammer, complemented by twin wingtip pods. These systems can effectively blind older surface-to-air missile (SAM) radars, making the jet incredibly difficult to track and engage. Pilots affectionately refer to it as stealth on a budget, and it's a remarkably effective way to enhance survivability without the astronomical costs of a true stealth airframe. It's about disrupting the enemy's senses, making them fight blind. Finally, one of the unsung heroes of the JF-17's technological prowess is its adherence to the EMIL STD 15FIMP3B data bus standard. This might sound like technical jargon, but it's incredibly important. It means the flight control computers and weapon systems speak a common standardized language. The practical upshot? New weapons, from advanced Turkish cruise missiles to sophisticated South African standoff gliders, can be integrated into the JF-17's arsenal in a matter of months, not years. This flexibility and rapid adaptability mean the JF-17's capabilities can evolve quickly, keeping pace with emerging threats and opportunities, without being tied to a single vendor or a lengthy, expensive integration process. This open architecture is a testament to its forward-thinking design philosophy, ensuring it remains a relevant and deadly platform for years to come. Dollar for dollar, the best value in the sky. Let's talk brass tacks, because in defense procurement, budgets aren't just numbers. They're strategic constraints. While official cost data can be as elusive as a ghost, leaked contracts offer illuminating glimpses into the JF-17's unparalleled value proposition. For instance, Myanmar's contract for 16 jets reportedly came in at around USD $560 million. What did that include? Not just the aircraft, but also a comprehensive package of spares, pilot training, and an initial suite of weapons. Do the math. That's approximately $35 million per tail. Now let's put that into perspective. Nigeria, another significant customer, reportedly paid even less. Why? Because they already had a stockpile of Western-made bombs, which, thanks to the JF-17's adaptable design, could be integrated using simple adapter rails. This flexibility means buyers aren't locked into a single expensive ecosystem. Compare that $35 million to the sticker price of its competitors. A brand new Gripen C, a very capable light fighter, typically fetches between $70–80 million. And if you're eyeing an F-16 Block 70, you're looking at well over $100 million, potentially closer to $120 million, depending on the configuration and associated package. The difference is stark, isn't it? It's not just a little cheaper. It's often half the price or even a third. This massive cost differential explains precisely why cash-strapped democracies, particularly in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, are increasingly leaning towards the Thunder. They get modern capabilities without mortgaging their entire defense budget, but the sticker price is just one piece of the puzzle. The true cost of an aircraft isn't just what you pay up front. It's what it costs to keep it flying. This is where operating costs come into play, and the JF-17 shines here too. Pakistani sources consistently cite an operating cost of roughly $7,000 per flight hour. Now compare that to an F-16, which can easily run you $20,000 to $25,000 per flight hour, or even more for advanced variants like the F-35, which hovers around $30,000. That's a staggering difference. The JF-17 is roughly one-third the cost to operate. Why does this matter so much? Because when your annual defense budget is, say, $2 billion, that difference isn't just theoretical savings. It's the difference between having your pilots flying and training regularly, or having your expensive jets sitting in hangars, accumulating dust and rust. It means more training sorties, more patrol hours, and ultimately a more proficient and ready Air Force. For nations where every dollar counts, the JF-17 isn't just an option. It's a strategic imperative. It's the smart choice for maintaining credible air power without sacrificing other critical national priorities. It truly is dollar for dollar, one of the best values in the sky today. Geopolitical shockwaves. Before the JF-17 began its export journey, Chinese fighters carried a certain reputation. Let's be frank, it wasn't always glowing. There was often talk of rough finishing, questionable reliability, and crucially, scarce parts support once they left China's immediate sphere of influence. This perception often limited their appeal on the international market, leaving a vacuum that Western and Russian manufacturers were all too happy to fill. The Thunder, however, didn't just challenge that reputation. It utterly reversed it. Consider the Nigerian experience. Their parliamentary report proudly states an 85% dispatch reliability for their JF-17 fleet. 85%. That's a figure that would make many Western air forces nod in approval. It demonstrates a robust design, quality manufacturing, and effective logistical support, precisely what was once considered a weakness. The result of this proven reliability and cost-effectiveness? A veritable geopolitical shockwave. Algeria, a nation with sophisticated defense needs, is reportedly deep in negotiations for 12 Block 3s. Azerbaijan, a strategically important country in the Caucasus, has publicly confirmed its keen interest. And Malaysia, a nation that already operates advanced Western aircraft like the FA-18, shortlisted the JF-17 against the Korean FA-50, signaling a serious shift in its procurement considerations. Each of these sales isn't just a transaction. It's a small but significant chip away at the long-standing Western monopoly on Allied air forces. For decades, if you wanted modern, reliable air power, you generally looked to the US, Europe, or Russia. The JF-17 offers a credible, high-performance alternative that comes without the political strings or export restrictions often associated with traditional suppliers. And there's a deeper layer to this. Each buyer of the JF-17, particularly those in the non-aligned movement or seeking greater strategic independence, effectively becomes a voter in international forums like the United Nations. They align, albeit subtly, with a different axis of influence, creating opportunities for defense cooperation and diplomatic ties that might not have existed before. This is soft power, delivered at jet speed. The implications ripple even further. NATO planners, who for years have wargamed scenarios almost exclusively against advanced Russian platforms like the Su-30s, now have to contend with a new, equally potent, and significantly more numerous threat: cost-effective thunder formations. These aren't just individually capable jets. They represent a potential flood of low-signature targets that can overwhelm older radar systems and complicate air defense strategies. The old military adage, "Quantity has a quality all its own," just gained a new, distinctly Asian accent. The JF-17 isn't just changing air forces. It's subtly reshaping the geopolitical landscape of defense. Future Thunder enter the PFX. The story of the JF-17 isn't static. It's a constantly evolving narrative of innovation. Pakistan Aeronautical Complex (PAC) isn't resting on its laurels with the success of Block 3. They've already put funding into what's currently known as the Pakistan Fighter Experimental, or PFX. Unofficially, and with a healthy dose of excited speculation, many are already calling it Block 4. This isn't just another incremental upgrade. It's shaping up to be a completely new beast, designed to take the Thunder concept to the next level. The rumor mill is buzzing with tantalizing details. We're hearing whispers of a significantly bigger wing, which would improve lift, maneuverability, and potentially range. Critically, there's talk of a twin-engine configuration. This is a huge leap from the single-engine JF-17, offering enhanced thrust, redundancy, and greater payload capacity. Imagine the added power and safety margins that two engines provide, especially over hostile territory or long-distance missions. Perhaps the most significant rumored upgrade is an internal weapons bay. This is a feature typically found on fifth-generation stealth fighters like the F-22 or F-35, and internal bay reduces the aircraft's radar cross-section, RCS, by eliminating external weapon pylons, making it much harder to detect. This would dramatically enhance the PFX's stealth characteristics, pushing it further into the low observable domain. Coupled with this, there's speculation about a massive 12-ton internal fuel fraction, meaning a significant portion of its weight would be fuel, translating to vastly extended range and endurance, without relying as heavily on external drop tanks, which also increase RCS. Essentially, the PFX is being designed to have an F-35-like footprint in terms of stealth and operational range, but crucially, without the gold-plated, astronomically expensive systems and strict export controls that come with a true fifth-generation Western fighter. It's about achieving sophisticated capabilities in a cost-effective and export-friendly package. What's the timeline looking like for this ambitious project? Current projections suggest a first flight as early as 2028, with squadron service potentially commencing by 2032. If these targets are met, the implications for regional air power are profound. India, Pakistan's primary rival, would suddenly face a sophisticated two-front air threat. This would involve not only China's advanced J-20 stealth fighters, but also a rapidly evolving fleet of upgraded Thunder derivatives, the PFX, all seamlessly networked through common data links. This kind of multi-layered, technologically advanced threat calculus is precisely what keeps strategists in South Block, India's seat of power, up at night. For Western contractors, it's also a wake-up call. The emergence of capable, cost-effective alternatives like the PFX intensifies the competitive pressure. It fuels their lobbying efforts for faster deliveries of their own advanced platforms, such as the F-21, Lockheed Martin's F-16 variant offered to India, and the F-15EX. The future of air combat is clearly not just about who has the most expensive toys, but who can innovate smartly and efficiently, and the PFX is set to be a major disruptor in that evolving landscape. Myths busted. In the world of military aviation, rumors and myths fly almost as fast as the jets themselves. The JF-17 Thunder, being an underdog with an unconventional origin, has certainly attracted its fair share. But let's put some of these persistent misconceptions to rest, shall we? Because the truth, as always, is far more interesting and impressive than the fiction. Myth 1. It's just a MiG-21 with lipstick. This is perhaps the most common and dismissive critique, often trotted out by those who haven't bothered to look beyond superficial similarities or understand the JF-17's design philosophy. The MiG-21, while iconic, is a product of 1950s Soviet engineering. The JF-17, on the other hand, is a thoroughly modern machine. Let's break it down. The JF-17's wing area is a whopping 30% larger than the MiG-21's. What does a larger wing mean? Better lift, superior maneuverability at lower speeds, and improved short-field performance. It's fundamentally a more stable and agile platform. Furthermore, its engine thrust is 20% higher than the MiG-21's, providing greater acceleration, climb rate, and overall power. And perhaps most critically for modern air combat, the JF-17's radar cross-section, RCS, is under 2 square meters, a relatively small signature that makes it harder to detect. Compare that to the MiG-21 Fishbed's RCS, which typically hovers around 5 square meters. So no, it's not a rehashed MiG-21. It's a completely different aircraft, designed for completely different challenges, using fundamentally different engineering principles. It's like comparing a classic rotary dial phone to a modern smartphone. Both make calls, but that's where the similarity ends. Myth 2. It can't survive without Chinese tech support. This myth suggests that any nation buying the JF-17 would be perpetually tied to Beijing for maintenance, upgrades, and spare parts, making them vulnerable to political pressure. The reality, however, tells a different story, one of deliberate self-reliance. Take Nigeria, for example. Their Air Force has successfully conducted all domestic overhauls for their JF-17 fleet for the past 2 years, utilizing kits and technical data supplied by PAC, Pakistan Aeronautical Complex. This isn't just routine maintenance. These are significant overhauls that require deep technical knowledge and logistical capability. This proves that the JF-17 ecosystem is designed for customer autonomy, allowing nations to build their own technical expertise and maintain operational independence. The reliance isn't on a single foreign power, but on a partnership that actively enables self-sufficiency. Myth 3. Only poor countries buy it. This is another condescending dismissal, implying that the JF-17 is a budget bin option for nations that can't afford real fighters. While its cost-effectiveness is a major selling point, the idea that only impoverished nations acquire it is demonstrably false. Consider Malaysia, a nation with a robust economy and a well-equipped air force that operates advanced Western aircraft like the F/A-18 Hornet. Malaysia has openly shortlisted the JF-17 and is seriously considering it for its high-low mix strategy. What's a high-low mix? It's a smart procurement strategy, where an air force operates a smaller number of highly advanced, expensive high-end fighters like their F/A-18s, alongside a larger fleet of more affordable, yet highly capable low-end fighters. This allows them to maximize their operational numbers and deploy appropriate aircraft for various mission profiles without breaking the bank. Malaysia is hardly a banana republic. They are a sophisticated military buyer making a strategic decision. The truth is, the JF-17 fits specific niches and strategic requirements, not just the financial constraints of certain nations. It's a smart choice for air forces looking for maximum bang for their buck, regardless of their GDP. Day one, if you're getting value here, if your eyes are opening to the sheer ingenuity behind this jet, then do us a solid, tap that like button and drop a comment below. What other underrated weapon systems, what other unsung heroes of the defense world do you think deserve the spotlight next? Your engagement isn't just appreciated, it helps us know what truly sparks your curiosity. And hey, a quick subscription keeps these deep dives coming straight to your feed. It costs you absolutely nothing but a click, and it means you won't miss out on the next big story. Section 10. Pilot Perspective. You can talk all day about specs and statistics, but ultimately, the true measure of a fighter jet lies in the cockpit, in the hands of the pilot. What do the men and women who strap into the thunder actually think? Let's hear from someone who knows it intimately. Flight Lieutenant Aisha Farouk, a pioneering figure as Pakistan's first female thunder pilot, once shared a profound insight with me. She said the jet forgives rookie mistakes but rewards experience. That's a powerful statement. What does it mean? It speaks to the JF-17's inherent design philosophy. Its quadruplex fly-by-wire flight control system is incredibly sophisticated.
It's designed to be highly stable, preventing the aircraft from entering dangerous flight regimes.
It simply won't let you accidentally stall the jet even if you try. This safety margin is invaluable for newer pilots, reducing the learning curve and making it a more forgiving platform. Yet for experienced hands, it doesn't numb the performance. You can still pull a full 8 Gs, that's 8 times the force of gravity, without the computer autonomously trimming away your fun or limiting your tactical options. It strikes a perfect balance between safety and performance, allowing pilots to push the envelope with confidence. Another critical feature that pilots consistently praise is the HOTAS, hands-on throttle and stick setup. In modern air combat, every fraction of a second counts. The HOTAS design means a pilot never has to take their hands off the throttle or the control stick to perform critical functions. Whether it's firing missiles, dropping bombs, or sharing vital target data with an airborne early warning, AWACS aircraft, all essential controls are right there at their fingertips. This seamless interface allows for faster reactions, reduced workload, and ultimately more effective combat. And the proof is in the pudding. Farouk herself recounted experiences from exercises against advanced Gulf Mirage 2000s, formidable fighters in their own right. Her two-ship JF17 flight, utilizing the advanced helmet-mounted sight and high off-bore sight PL-10 shots, achieved an impressive 6.2 kill ratio. Think about that. Outmaneuvering and outshooting a highly capable adversary, not through brute force but through smart technology and superior tactics. That's a testament to both the pilot's skill and the jet's inherent combat effectiveness. Her final verdict on the JF-17, it's not sexy like an F-22, but it gets the job done and brings you home. And for most air forces, particularly those operating on realistic budgets and facing real-world threats, that, my friends, is the very definition of sexy. It's about reliability, capability, and survivability, the core tenets of effective air power. The JF-17 delivers on all fronts and its pilots clearly appreciate it. Section 11. Under the hood, engine, fuel and range. Let's delve a little deeper, moving beyond the cockpit and into the beating heart and sinews of the JF-17. Its engine, fuel capacity, and the resulting range capabilities. Because a fighter jet is only as good as its ability to get to the fight, stay in the fight, and get back home. Powering the JF-17 is the formidable RD-93MA turbofan engine. This isn't some anemic power plant. It cranks out an impressive 9,300 kilograms of afterburning thrust. To give you a sense of scale, that's roughly equivalent to strapping 2 F-404 engines, the power plants found in the FA-18 Hornet, together. This kind of thrust-to-weight ratio gives the Thunder excellent acceleration, a rapid climb rate, and the ability to maintain energy in a dogfight, allowing it to hold its own against larger, more expensive adversaries. Now, let's talk about endurance, which largely comes down to fuel. The JF-17 carries a substantial 2,230 kilograms of internal fuel. That's a lot of jet fuel packed into its sleek frame. What does this translate to in operational terms? A combat radius of approximately 1,200 kilometers when equipped with 2 external drop tanks and 4 air-to-air missiles. Let's make that concrete. Imagine flying from Lahore, Pakistan, deep into Indian territory to New Delhi, loitering over the target area for a solid 20 minutes, engaging in combat if necessary, and then safely returning to base, all without needing a single aerial refueling. That's a significant unrefueled reach, giving the PAF considerable flexibility for both offensive and defensive operations. But the JF-17 isn't just about internal fuel. It boasts 8 external stations, hardpoints under the wings and fuselage, capable of hauling a combined 3,700 kilograms of stores. This flexibility allows it to carry a diverse array of weapons, sensors, and, crucially, additional fuel tanks. Consider this. If you strip away the drop tanks and instead load up 3 external fuel tanks, the JF-17's ferry range is dramatically extended. This allows it to strike targets far out in the Indian Ocean, protecting Pakistan's maritime interests, and then recover safely in Karachi. For a country whose longest border stretches nearly 2,900 kilometers, and with significant maritime interests, this kind of extended reach is absolutely vital. It means the JF-17 isn't just a tactical fighter. It's a strategic asset, capable of projecting power and defending national interests across vast distances. It's a remarkable capability for a single-engine light-to-medium fighter, underscoring its thoughtful design and the strategic foresight that went into its development. The arsenal, what it carries, and why it matters. A fighter jet, no matter how advanced, is ultimately a delivery platform for weapons. And the JF-17 Thunder, particularly in its Block 3 iteration, comes equipped with an arsenal that's both diverse and deadly, reflecting its true multi-role capability. Understanding what it carries and why helps us grasp its strategic significance. Let's start with air-to-air capabilities, because controlling the skies is paramount. PL-50. This is the JF-17's go-to missile for within-visual range WVR combat. It's a highly agile, infrared-guided short-range missile, perfect for those close-in dogfights. Think of it as the jet's sharp, quick dagger. PL-12. Stepping up to beyond visual range BVR engagements, the PL-12 is a radar-guided missile with a range of approximately 70 kilometers. This missile allows the JF-17 to engage targets from a distance, before they even know they're being targeted, providing a crucial first-shot advantage. PL-15. And then there's the game-changer, the PL-15. This is a long-range, ramjet-powered active radar homing missile with a reported range of up to 200 kilometers. The PL-15 dramatically extends the JF-17's reach, allowing it to threaten high-value assets like AWACS and tanker aircraft, as well as engage enemy fighters from extreme distances. This missile puts the JF-17 on par with, or even surpasses, the BVR capabilities of many more expensive Western fighters. Now, shifting to air-to-ground operations, where precision and destructive power are key. LS-6. Satellite-guided 500 kg bombs. These are the workhorses for precision strikes. With GPS-INS guidance, these 500 kilogram bombs can hit targets with incredible accuracy, minimizing collateral damage and maximizing the impact on specific enemy infrastructure or formations. GB-6 cruise dispensers. This is a particularly interesting weapon. The GB-6 isn't just a bomb. It's a glide bomb that can be launched from up to 60 kilometers away from the target. Once released, it glides towards the target area and then dispenses smart sub-munitions. Imagine a single JF-17 being able to saturate a wide area with anti-armor bomblets or runway cratering munitions, all from a safe standoff distance. It's a highly effective weapon for suppressing airfields or destroying armored columns. C-802AK anti-ship missiles. For maritime strike missions, the JF-17 can be armed with the C-802AK, a potent anti-ship cruise missile. This weapon gives the JF-17 the capability to engage and destroy enemy naval vessels, providing a significant deterrent in coastal defense scenarios or for power projection over maritime routes. Finally, for the crucial task of suppression of enemy air defenses, SAD, which is essential for any successful air campaign. LD-10 anti-radiation missile. This is a derivative of the SD-10 missile, but with a critical difference: passive radar homing. What does this mean? If an adversary turns on their fire control radar, the system that guides their surface-to-air missiles, The LD-10 can detect that radar emission, lock onto it, and follow that signal straight back to its source. It's an incredibly effective fire-and-forget weapon for neutralizing enemy air defense systems. If the enemy radar lights up, they literally eat a Mach 4 missile. This capability is paramount for clearing a path for strike packages and ensuring the survivability of other aircraft. The significance of this diverse toolset cannot be overstated. With this array of weapons, a single JF-17 Thunder isn't just a fighter. It's a true multi-role platform. It can perform counter-air missions, engaging enemy aircraft, interdiction, striking ground targets deep behind enemy lines, and SAD, suppressing enemy air defenses, all within a single sortie. This is a level of mission flexibility that even more expensive aircraft, like some older F-16 variants, often struggle to achieve, frequently requiring multiple aircraft or specialized loadouts across different missions. The JF-17's arsenal makes it a highly adaptable and potent force multiplier. Training and simulator edge. In modern aviation, especially for high-performance military aircraft, training isn't just important. It's absolutely critical. It's expensive, time-consuming, and resource-intensive. This is another area where the JF-17 Thunder ecosystem offers a significant, often underestimated edge, particularly for export customers. Pakistan Aeronautical Complex, PAC, understands this intrinsically. That's why they don't just sell you an aircraft. They bundle a comprehensive full-mission simulator that precisely replicates all operational blocks of the JF-17. This isn't some glorified video game. It's a highly realistic, immersive training environment designed to mimic every aspect of actual flight, from startup procedures to complex combat scenarios. The benefits of this integrated simulator are immense. For one, it allows pilots to log an astonishing 40% of their annual flight hours virtually. Think about the impact of that. It dramatically cuts down on real fuel burn, a massive operational cost, and significantly reduces the fatigue life consumed by the actual aircraft. Every hour spent in the simulator is an hour saved on the airframe, extending its operational lifespan and reducing maintenance requirements. But it's not just about cost savings. The simulator is a powerful training tool that can inject a vast array of complex and dangerous scenarios that would be too risky or expensive to replicate in real life. Imagine training for cyber failures, where systems suddenly go offline, or navigating through dense swarms of enemy drones, or even dealing with GPS spoofing, a growing threat in modern warfare where navigation signals are intentionally corrupted. These are high-stress, high-consequence situations that Western simulators have only relatively recently begun to incorporate into their curricula. The JF-17 simulator, however, builds these advanced threat scenarios into its core design, preparing pilots for the most challenging aspects of modern combat. And the cost differential is staggering. An hour in the full mission simulator costs approximately $600. Compare that to the $7,000 per hour it costs to operate the actual aircraft in the air. That's more than a tenfold saving. For export customers, particularly those with more constrained defense budgets, this isn't just a nice-to-have. It's a budget lifesaver and a genuine force multiplier. It means they can train more pilots more frequently, in more diverse and realistic scenarios, all while drastically reducing their operational costs. The simulator isn't just an accessory. It's an integral part of the JF-17's value proposition, ensuring pilots are always sharp, ready, and proficient, without draining precious resources. Supply chain. Why sanctions don't bite. In an increasingly interconnected world, where economic and political leverage often translates into strategic vulnerabilities, the JF-17 Thunder offers something truly revolutionary: autonomy. This isn't just a talking point. It's a hard-earned lesson from geopolitical realities. Here's a true story that perfectly illustrates this point. After the intense India-Pakistan skirmishes in 2019, the United States, as part of its foreign policy, withheld select JDAM, Joint Direct Attack Munition kits, from Pakistan. JDAMs are precision-guided bombs, and their absence could have severely impacted Pakistan's air-to-ground capabilities. For many air forces reliant on a single foreign supplier, this would have been a crippling blow, forcing them to either halt operations or scramble for expensive, often less effective alternatives. But for the JF-17, it was merely a temporary inconvenience. Within a remarkable 6 months, Pakistan Aeronautical Complex, PAC, had successfully certified the Chinese GB-6, a comparable satellite-guided glide bomb, as a plug-and-play replacement. 6 months. That's an incredibly rapid turnaround for integrating a new weapon system onto a fighter jet, especially under duress. How was this possible? It boils down to the Thunder's core design philosophy, its open bus architecture and license-friendly hardware. What does that mean in practical terms? It means the jet's internal systems are designed to be adaptable and compatible, with a wide range of components and armaments from various manufacturers. If vendor A decides to withhold a particular piece of equipment or weapon, vendor B can often step in with a compatible alternative, and integration is relatively straightforward. This is a stark contrast to many proprietary Western systems, which often lock customers into a single, tightly controlled supply chain. This flexibility has not gone unnoticed. Nations like Ukraine, facing ongoing conflicts and needing to diversify their defense procurement. Countries like Iran and Sudan, long accustomed to navigating international sanctions, are quietly studying this model. They see the JF-17's approach as a blueprint for their own survival strategies, a way to build and maintain a credible defense force, without being entirely beholden to the whims of geopolitical power plays. In an era where weaponized interdependence, like the use of economic and technological reliance as a tool of foreign policy, is becoming increasingly common, the JF-17 offers something priceless: genuine autonomy. It's not just an aircraft. It's a statement of independence, a strategic tool that allows nations to chart their own defense course, free from the threat of crippling sanctions or politically motivated supply disruptions. That, for many, is worth more than any individual technological advantage. What rivals say? You know a weapon system has truly arrived when even your rivals grudgingly acknowledge its effectiveness. Forget the marketing brochures and the sales pitches. The most authentic endorsements often come from those who have to face the system in combat or plan against it. And in the case of the JF-17 Thunder, the praise, though often delivered off record, is loud and clear. Indian Air Force officers, speaking candidly and off record to publications like the Hindustan Times, have admitted that the JF-17 Block III's combination of the advanced AESA radar and the long-range PL-15 missile creates a significant strategic challenge. Their assessment? This combo forces us to keep tankers 400 km back. Think about the implications of that. Tankers are the lifeline of modern air operations, extending the range and endurance of strike packages. If they have to operate 400 kilometers further away from the front lines, it drastically shrinks the on-station time for Indian strike aircraft. This means fewer bombs dropped, less time over target, and ultimately a less effective air campaign. It's a tactical constraint imposed by the JF-17's reach, and it's a testament to its long-range lethality. The praise isn't limited to the immediate neighborhood. A U.S. Air National Guard pilot, who participated in dissimilar combat training exercises against Nigerian Thunder Block IIs, offered his own insights. He specifically called out the JF-17's helmet-mounted cueing system as slick. This is high praise from a pilot accustomed to some of the most advanced systems in the world. He also noted the jet's relatively small size, which makes visual acquisition incredibly tough, especially under 2 kilometers. In a close-in fight, if you can't see your opponent, you can't shoot them. The JF-17's compact design, combined with its agility, makes it a surprisingly difficult target to track visually, adding another layer to its combat effectiveness. These aren't just casual observations. They are professional assessments from pilots who understand the nuances of aerial combat. When your adversaries and highly trained professionals from leading air forces acknowledge your capabilities, it's the loudest and most credible endorsement you can get in the cutthroat world of fighter aircraft. The JF-17 isn't just making a name for itself on paper. It's earning respect in the air. Export scorecard. The true measure of a successful defense program beyond its combat performance often lies in its export success. It's a clear indicator of a product's value, reliability, and competitive edge. And on that front, the JF-17 Thunder has an export scorecard that's nothing short of impressive, demonstrating its growing influence on the global defense market. Let's look at the numbers. Pakistan. As the primary developer and operator, Pakistan has roughly 150 JF-17s in active service. They're not stopping there. Another 25 Block 3s are currently on order, signaling their continued commitment to the platform and its future upgrades. Myanmar. This was one of the earliest export successes, with 24 JF17s already delivered. There's an additional option for 12 more, indicating satisfaction with the initial batch and a desire to expand their fleet. Nigeria. Another key customer, Nigeria has taken delivery of 18 JF17s, proving their effectiveness in anti-terrorism operations. They've also exercised an option for 6 more, further solidifying their investment in the Thunder. Azerbaijan. In 2023, Azerbaijan officially signed a contract for 12 JF17s. This is a significant breakthrough into a new region and a testament to the jet's appeal in strategically sensitive areas. Malaysia. While not yet a confirmed order, Malaysia has shortlisted the JF17. This is a major development, as Malaysia is a sophisticated buyer with a diverse fleet, and being shortlisted against competitors like the Korean FA-50 speaks volumes about the Thunder's capabilities and value proposition. A decision is anticipated in 2025. Sudan and Algeria. Both nations have signed Memoranda of Understanding (MOUs) for the JF17. While specific numbers haven't been disclosed, an MOU is often the first step towards a firm contract, indicating serious interest and ongoing negotiations. When you tally these figures, the total confirmed orders for the JF17 Thunder already exceed 250 aircraft. This makes the Thunder not just a successful export, but arguably the best-selling new-build fighter of the last decade outside of the truly dominant F-35 and Su-30 lines. That's an incredible achievement for an aircraft that started as an underdog. It demonstrates a clear demand for its unique blend of modern capability, cost-effectiveness, and operational autonomy, solidifying its place as a significant player in the international defense market. CTA-2. We don't just skim the surface, we crunch data. Others ignore. We dig into the details that truly matter. If you appreciate that kind of in-depth analysis, then do yourself a favor. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell notification. That way YouTube will tell you the very moment our next deep analysis drops, ensuring you're always ahead of the curve. Economic impact on Pakistan. Defense programs are often viewed as colossal drains on national treasuries, necessary evils that consume vast resources without generating direct economic returns. However, the JF17 Thunder program stands as a powerful counter-narrative to this conventional wisdom, demonstrating that a strategic defense initiative can, in fact, become a significant economic engine. Pakistan Aeronautical Complex (PAC) proudly asserts that the Thunder program now generates approximately USD 1.2 billion annually in exports and offsets. Let that sink in, USD 1.2 billion. To put that into perspective, that figure represents about 12% of Pakistan's total annual export revenue. This isn't just pocket change, it's a substantial contribution to the national economy, injecting vital foreign exchange and bolstering the country's financial stability. But the economic benefits extend far beyond direct export sales. The program has fostered an impressive degree of indigenous manufacturing. Local Pakistani vendors are now responsible for producing a remarkable 58% of the JF-17's airframe. This isn't just assembling parts. It's designing, fabricating, and integrating complex structural components. This level of local content creation has a profound ripple effect throughout the industrial sector. It directly translates into the creation of 18,000 high-skilled jobs. These aren't just any jobs. They are positions for engineers, technicians, machinists, and specialized laborers, contributing to a skilled workforce that can drive future technological advancements. In 2022 alone, subcontractors involved in the JF-17 program produced an astonishing 3 million precision-machined components, not just for domestic jets but also for export spares. This level of intricate manufacturing capability is a cornerstone of any advanced industrial economy. The translation of all this? The JF-17 program isn't just paying its own bills. It's actively contributing to Pakistan's economic growth. It's creating a highly skilled labor force, stimulating local industry, and generating significant export revenue. Crucially, it provides a compelling reason for talented engineers and scientists to remain in Pakistan, offering them cutting-edge projects and opportunities that might otherwise force them to emigrate. The Thunder isn't just defending Pakistan's skies, it's helping build its economic future, the humanitarian side. When we talk about fighter jets, our minds naturally jump to combat, to air superiority and precision strikes. But what if a fighter jet could also be a tool for humanitarian aid, for saving lives and livelihoods in a completely unexpected way? The JF-17 Thunder proved it could do exactly that, showcasing a versatility that few military aircraft can boast. Here's a remarkable story from 2020. Pakistan was facing a dire agricultural crisis, a massive locust swarm, an ecological disaster that threatened to decimate the nation's crops and plunge countless farmers into economic despair. Traditional methods of pest control were simply not enough to combat the sheer scale and speed of the infestation. Enter the Pakistan Air Force. In an unprecedented move, JF-17s were rapidly adapted for a completely different mission. They were fitted with specialized seed dispensers, essentially large hoppers designed to spray pesticides over vast areas. Over a critical period, these JF-17s flew 30 sorties, dropping a staggering 18 tons of pesticide onto the affected fields. Think about the adaptability required here. Pilots trained for high-speed intercepts and precision bombing suddenly found themselves performing low-altitude agricultural spraying. And they adapted incredibly quickly, mastering this entirely new skill set within 48 hours. This wasn't just a testament to the pilot's professionalism, but also to the inherent flexibility of the JF-17 platform itself, which allowed for such rapid modification and mission retasking. The economic impact was equally impressive. The cost per treated hectare using the JF-17s was an astonishing $4, compared to $12 for traditional tractor-based spraying. This represented a massive saving, allowing for more extensive coverage and a more effective response to the crisis. Fighter jets saving crops might sound utterly absurd, a scenario plucked straight from a science fiction novel, but it happened. And it happened because the JF-17 was designed with versatility in its very DNA, an open architecture, a robust airframe, and the capacity for rapid modifications. It's a powerful reminder that military assets, when thoughtfully designed and creatively deployed, can serve purposes far beyond conventional warfare, demonstrating a profound commitment to national welfare. The Thunder truly is more than just a warplane. Comparisons that matter. In the crowded global defense market, every fighter jet faces intense scrutiny and comparison. For the JF-17 Thunder, these comparisons aren't just about technical specifications. They're about strategic choices, cost-effectiveness, and geopolitical independence. Let's stack it up against some key rivals to understand its unique position. Versus India's Tejas. The Tejas is India's indigenous light combat aircraft, a point of national pride. However, when directly compared, the Thunder often emerges with distinct advantages. For starters, the JF-17 typically costs around 30% less than the Tejas. In a world of tight defense budgets, that's a significant difference. Furthermore, while the Tejas relies on an imported engine, the American GEF404, the JF-17 uses the Chinese-developed RD-93MA, offering greater supply chain autonomy. And crucially, the JF-17 Block 3 already fields a sophisticated AESA radar, a capability the Tejas is only just beginning to integrate into its most advanced variants. This means the Thunder has a substantial lead in sensor technology, offering superior detection and tracking capabilities right now, versus Korea's FA-50. The Korean FA-50 is another popular light fighter, often competing in the same market segments as the JF-17. On paper, they might appear similar, often sporting a comparable sticker price. However, the Thunder typically carries 50% more payload. This means it can carry more bombs, more missiles, or more fuel, offering greater mission flexibility and combat endurance. More importantly, the JF-17 offers beyond visual range BVR missiles with an impressive 200-kilometer range, like the PL-15, whereas the FA-50's BVR capabilities are generally limited to missiles with ranges closer to 100 kilometer, like the AM-120 AMRAAM. That's double the reach, providing a critical first-shot advantage in aerial combat and allowing the JF-17 to engage targets from a much safer distance. Versus used F-16s. Many nations, particularly those looking for a cost-effective upgrade, consider acquiring used F-16s from the US or its allies. While the F-16 is a proven and capable platform, the JF-17 offers compelling advantages. First, the Thunder is a newer airframe, meaning it has more structural life left and benefits from more modern design principles. Second, and this is a massive geopolitical factor, acquiring F-16s, even used ones, often comes with strict export controls, end-user agreements, and political approvals from the U.S. State Department. These can be cumbersome, unpredictable, and subject to political whims. The JF-17, on the other hand, comes with no such strings attached. Buyers gain full autonomy over its use and upgrades. Perhaps most significantly, the JF-17 offers source code access for its avionics to its customers, a capability almost unheard of with Western aircraft. This allows nations to integrate their own weapons, sensors, and electronic warfare systems, fostering true indigenous capability and independence. The bottom line is clear. If your mission is deterrence without entanglements, if you need modern, capable air power without the political baggage or the exorbitant price tag, then the ledger tilts decisively towards the Thunder. It's not just a good fighter, it's a strategically smart choice for many nations today. Weaknesses nobody talks about. No weapon system is perfect, and true military professionals understand that acknowledging limitations is just as vital as celebrating strengths. Honesty keeps militaries alive. Knowing the edges of your capabilities keeps pilots safe. The JF-17 Thunder, for all its impressive attributes, isn't immune to these inherent compromises. Let's talk about the weaknesses that often get overlooked in the marketing buzz. Firstly, the Cowan single-engine design inherently limits its growth space. While the RD-93MA is a powerful engine, a single engine means a fixed amount of thrust and electrical power. If you want to add significantly more weight, more powerful sensors, or larger, more power-hungry electronic warfare systems in future upgrades, you quickly run into performance ceilings. A single engine also means a single point of failure in combat or over hostile territory. If that engine goes out, you're gliding. Adding a second engine, as rumored for the PFX Block 4, effectively means designing a new airframe from the ground up, which, of course, is precisely why the PFX is being developed as a next-generation platform, rather than just another block upgrade. It's a fundamental constraint of the current design. Secondly, while the JF-17 Block 3 boasts a reduced radar cross-section, RCS, it's important to clarify it's cocked low but not stealth low, so the RCS of under 2 square meters is excellent for a fourth-generation fighter, making it harder to detect than older jets. However, it's still significantly larger than a true fifth-generation stealth fighter, like an F-35, which has an RCS measured in millimeters. This means that advanced modern surface-to-air missile SAM batteries, such as the Russian S-400 system, can still track the JF-17 beyond 50 kilometers and potentially engage it from even further away depending on the radar and missile variant. While the JF-17's electronic warfare suite can help counter these threats, it's not invisible, and pilots must still employ careful tactics when operating in heavily defended airspace. It's a capable platform, but not a stealth one. Finally, while the JF-17's avionics are indeed open architecture and highly adaptable, there's a nuance. Some Western bombs simply won't integrate without source codes that Pakistan doesn't own. The open bus architecture allows for hardware integration, but full software integration and certification for certain highly proprietary Western smart munitions often requires access to sensitive source code and data that the original manufacturers are understandably reluctant to share. This means while the JF-17 can integrate many weapons, there might still be a few high-end Western munitions that remain out of reach or require significant reverse engineering efforts. This isn't a crippling limitation, especially given the growing array of Chinese and other non-Western weapon options, but it's a practical constraint on ultimate weapon diversity. These aren't criticisms meant to diminish the JF-17's achievements, but rather a balanced perspective. Understanding these inherent limitations is crucial for effective tactical planning and for making informed procurement decisions. It's about fighting smart, and knowing your equipment's true capabilities and boundaries is always the first step. Beyond the cold, hard facts of technology and combat performance, the JF-17 Thunder has woven itself into the very fabric of national identity and pride. particularly in Pakistan. It's more than just a piece of metal flying in the sky. It's a symbol, a story, a source of profound national confidence. In Pakistan, the Thunder has transcended its role as a military asset to become a genuine cultural phenomenon. It's a meme, a recurring motif in popular culture. You'll find its sleek silhouette emblazoned on mugs, graduation gifts, and even starring as a heroic character in children's cartoons. This kind of widespread public recognition and affection is rare for a military aircraft, especially one that isn't a globally recognized icon like an F-16 or a MiG. The turning point for this cultural resonance was undoubtedly the 2019 skirmishes with India. The JF-17's confirmed operational successes during Operation Swift Retort sent a wave of national confidence sweeping across Pakistan. It wasn't just the military that felt a boost. The entire nation swelled with pride at the capabilities of their indigenous fighter. This newfound pride manifested in tangible ways. Defense exhibitions, once primarily attended by military brass and industry insiders, began drawing families, eager to see their Thunder up close. It became a symbol of national resilience and technological prowess. This cultural impact isn't limited to Pakistan. Export customers report similar waves of pride. Nigerian pilots, for instance, are known to wear Thunder badges on their civilian jackets, a subtle but clear expression of their connection to the aircraft and the capabilities it represents for their nation. It's not just an imported tool, it becomes a part of their national story. When an aircraft transitions from mere hardware to folklore, when it becomes ingrained in the popular imagination and national narrative, its deterrent value multiplies exponentially. Adversaries aren't just facing advanced technology and skilled pilots. They're fighting against a national story, a symbol of collective will and capability. That psychological edge, that deep-seated belief in one's own defense capabilities, is an intangible but incredibly powerful force. The JF-17 Thunder has achieved this, becoming not just a game-changer in modern warfare, but a cultural icon. So after this deep dive, let's address the elephant in the hangar. Is the JF-17 Thunder the best fighter ever built? Honestly, no. It's not designed to be an F-22 or an F-35. It doesn't aim for absolute air dominance at any cost. But here's the crucial question. Is it the fighter that best solves the brutal math of modern air power? High capability, modest cost, and crucially, zero geopolitical strings attached? Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. From those initial, dismissed napkin sketches in a quiet Islamabad office, to the subject of intense scrutiny in classified NATO briefings, and from being a budget stopgap to an export blockbuster, the Thunder stands as undeniable proof. You don't need unlimited funds, you don't need the most expensive gold-plated systems to redraw the map of air power. What you truly need is a clear understanding of the problem you're trying to solve, a pragmatic and flexible partnership, and the guts to iterate fast, to adapt, and to continuously improve. The JF-17's journey is a testament to what can be achieved when ingenuity meets necessity. It's a powerful statement in an era where defense budgets are scrutinized more than ever. Expect to see its distinctive silhouette gracing more skies, over more borders, playing critical roles in more conflicts, and prominently featured in more marketing slides alongside the words, cost-effective lethality. The game hasn't just changed. The price of admission to credible air power just plummeted. And make no mistake, the JF-17 Thunder is holding the door wide open for a new generation of air forces. If this deep dive truly opened your eyes, if it challenged your preconceptions about modern warfare, then do us a huge favor. Share it with a friend who still thinks only billion-dollar jets win wars. Let's spread the truth about this underdog success story. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and please drop a comment below. What other hidden gems, what other untold stories of innovation should we expose next? Stay sharp, stay curious, and always remember, sometimes the loudest thunder comes from the quietest, most unexpected jet.